Good Wednesday evening, everyone. Hope everybody is having a great day, a great work week so far. I'm here to warn you now, this is going to be probably one of my longer videos I've ever posted. We're going to get really detailed with this. We're going to show you all the model runs and what's going on with this potentially major winter storm. This thing has significant ice storm potential, significant snowstorm potential, and then somebody's going to get everything in between, whether that's sleet, snow, freezing rain, everything. There's a lot to discuss, so stick with me with this. If you guys have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button for me. Like the video if you like it. I'm going to try to get as in-depth for everybody as I can with this. There's just a lot to talk about. Guys, I just want to quickly say, because I've had a lot of people complain about my intro being too long, but I never want to lose that personal touch. So this is how I start my videos. But I just want to say before I get too deep, thank y'all for the amazing support. I can't even keep up with you guys, and it's awesome. It's amazing. It's a great feeling just talking about what I love with others, and it's a big time blessing. So thank y'all. It takes a lot of time. There's weeks like this where it takes just a ton of time to do, but it's fun, it's enjoyable, and I'd really appreciate all you guys. Had a couple people join my channel, and thank you, much love to that. There's a way to join my channel right here, and it's just a way to help out financially, just to keeping up with an appealing setup, a good setup, and just keep things flowing. I storm chase also, so money goes to that. So thank y'all for the support with that. Hit me up on Twitter, guys. I'm telling you, I keep y'all updated hourly on there. It's not like I can make a video on YouTube every 15 minutes, but hit me up on Twitter, Facebook. I'm trying to get to 10,000 likes on my Facebook, so the support there would be highly appreciated. Much love there for sure. TikTok, I make short clips. Instagram's linked to Facebook. Whatever I post on Facebook goes to Instagram. Thank y'all for the support. Let's get going here, because I know none of y'all want to hear all that. Most of y'all just want to see, is it going to snow at my house? Is it going to be ice, etc. We're going to go through the European, go through the GFS. We're even going to talk about the Icon, the NAM. The NAM is getting in range, and I'm telling you, the NAM is looking crazy. I want to talk about the trends really quick while we're going through this panel. The trends were looking ugly for winter weather fans, but they're kind of ticking back to more of a favorable scenario for winter weather in general. But it's showing a lot of people getting a nasty ice storm. We'll talk about that in this video. Stay tuned with me. So, taking a deep breath. So for my folks up in the Midwest, upper Midwest, this is going to be a nice northern stream, beefed up piece of energy that moves through here in the Midwest as we're getting into Friday afternoon. You got a good little chunk of heavy snow, heavy to moderate snow, just slipping down, plenty of cold air to deal with it, and significant snow breaking out, moving almost due south with a eastern component to it. You got snow slipping into Iowa, getting into Missouri. Areas of Missouri will start out as rain, but probably likely at some point the entire state will see snow before it's over with. And then it sinks into Arkansas. The Ozarks of Arkansas could definitely be favored with this. Maybe a quick hitting, nice winter event for you guys. Maybe a few inches of snow, a little bit of ice. This moves through. You got a high pressure setting up here. It's starting to crank up what we call cold air damming. I'm not going to take forever on this specific graphic, so we're going to swing through and talk about some specifics as we go. But as the storm continues to sink south, where a low pressure develops, how amped up it is, there's a lot of factors here. How intense and the placement will this high pressure be up here, which on the GFS will show it pretty clearly. But check it out. We're getting into Sunday morning, and significant snow breaking out into the CAD areas, which is cold air damming. That's why every time I say CAD, it stands for cold air damming. It's cold air that gets trapped east of the mountains. But check out the pink breaking out in southern areas of South Carolina, areas of the northern half of South Carolina. It's a good thumping of snow Sunday morning. This is one model run. I'm going to say that over and over again, guys. But the winter precipitation is breaking out over most of North Carolina. The coastal areas, unfortunately, you guys are seeing rain in the Carolinas and Georgia. But this is showing significant ice and now breaking out over areas that saw snow in Georgia. You guys in Tennessee, this is showing snow too for you guys in certain areas, but wherever the low pressure is, it's going to amp up the temperatures aloft and at the surface. So certain areas in Alabama it's just going to be rain, unfortunately. But this keeps going, continues its major status to it. Washington, D.C. is going to be close. New York City is going to be close. Boston is going to be close. But it's still, per the latest European, still really cuts inland. And all the big cities on the I-95 corridor really stay mostly rain. We get a closer look at the southeast for the European. And here it comes. Look at the little bit of snow on the northern side of this low pressure in Tennessee. You got snow for almost 60-70% of Arkansas. Maybe a little ice in between the rain and snow line. Get into Sunday morning, and this is when it gets dangerous. The European has stuck to its guns here. The GFS over the last 24 hours trended northwest. It's starting to tick southeast ever so slightly, and I'm about to show you that here in a second. But the European has stayed. In fact, the latest European is even more colder. Brings freezing rain as far south as Orangeburg. It gets it all the way into a brief area of Myrtle Beach. Wilmington, a little bit of freezing rain to start, maybe sleet. But the cold air dam is going to be setting up here big time. And then you get into more later in the Sunday, late Sunday morning into Sunday afternoon. This is nasty right here. This is an all-out ice storm for 60-70% of the state of South Carolina. Now, it's just one run, guys. But look at the upper level low wrapping in cold air behind it. This turns maybe for folks who just got all rain in Mississippi to maybe a back end heavy snow band. Sometimes when you get this upper level low over here, sometimes you get what you call a deformation band, and you could get rain and just sleet and a nasty mix for 80% of the storm. Then the last punch of the storm, sometimes you can get a heavy band of snow that sets up here. And that might set up here in portions of Kentucky, Tennessee, and then Mississippi, and then work its way in time more eastward. And then the freezing rain that showed up in maybe Atlanta switches back to snow, and all of a sudden you switch to all snow for areas outside of the cold air damming areas like Tennessee and the entire mountains and maybe the entire state of Tennessee at some point. Maybe some back end snow into the areas that just got hit by the ice storm. Y'all might switch to rain. So many question marks, so many things to figure out, so many scenarios. Here it comes a little bit more northern, up the eastern seaboard. Look at this low pressure right here, plowing inland into North Carolina and Virginia as we're getting into overnight Sunday into Monday. But on the northern and western side of the storm, y'all are getting slammed. And I'm talking about areas like Kentucky, especially eastern areas of the state, the same areas that just got hit a few days ago. West Virginia, snow, heavy snow breaking out over northern Virginia. But then maybe these same areas that just get heavy snow might switch back to rain and then back to snow. Pennsylvania, what I'm trying to say is this system has a ton of precipitation with it. It's really amped up. And honestly, for areas along the big cities, you really need this thing to trend less amped up, more sheared out as it's developing in this area right here. Snowfall totals, this is all snow right into here. It really is. And take another deep breath. Talking 100 miles an hour. The snow's breaking out over here. And several inches of snow stretching from the Dakotas all the way into southwestern Minnesota. Most of the state of Iowa gets snow. Most of the state of Missouri gets snow. I got a couple of viewers from that area. In fact, I got a person who's joined from Missouri. It looks like y'all could get a few inches of snow, I really think. And then when a deformation band sets up, which it can happen, that's when you could have a risky jackpot area somewhere in Arkansas into Tennessee that maybe they're not really calling for much snow, but suddenly gets a few inches of snow very quickly. And then obviously you look upstream here, and upstate of South Carolina, this accounts for sleet and snow, and North Carolina, the Triad area, into Virginia have hit very hard. You notice it's a lot more inland. But so let's keep rolling here. A little bit closer down south, 3 inches showing up for Columbia, 6 inches for Charlotte. I don't think it'll snow 3 inches in Columbia. I really don't. Try to figure out where you are, find that number. If you got wondering about your specific area, let me know. I don't want to go to each number and tell you each city. That's Nashville. This is Memphis. This is around Knoxville. That's Asheville. Asheville showing, several inches of snow. And then you go up the seaboard. Stick with me, guys. I'm about to show you some crazy ice totals here in a second. You go up the eastern seaboard here, and just a significant winter storm for everybody in these areas, especially in the pink where that's over a foot of snow. West Virginia gets slammed, and so on and so forth. But look at the ice totals from the latest European. I would cut these totals by at least a half. Well, I would say maybe about 25-30%, but still, you got 3/4 of an inch of ice showing up in Columbia, South Carolina, very close to the same in Augusta. Nasty ice storm in Charlotte. The upstate looks to mix more with sleet and snow, so not as much. But the corridor heaviest ice goes from the east central areas of Georgia into central South Carolina, into areas of the sand hills of North Carolina and the Triad areas of the Triangle. This has that Winter Storm PAX 2014 February vibe all over it to me. It really does. Look at the GFS. We're going to pick this up a little bit. Same kind of situation. The GFS is very similar for this part of the storm out here. But once it gets here, low pressure is really amped up here. Not as amped up as its other runs. You back it up here, and it's actually speeding it up, which is what you want if you want snowfall. Notice this little heavy band of snow right here in areas of Tennessee in the Quad States, same area that got devastated by the tornadoes a month ago. Notice there's an area of heavier snow showing up. That could be a jackpot area. Watch out for that area for heavier snow in the Quad States right there where Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas meet there. Here comes the low pressure, really amped up, shows a ton of heavier precipitation, shows all the ice and snow much further north. But I will mention the snowfall totals, you can really see it, are ticking southeast. And you hit this 1, 2, 3, and you would think, hey, well, it looks like the ice is trending north. But if you really look at the whole entire thing here, it's staying about the same. The northwest trend that I talked about in this morning's video has really stopped. But this keeps going here. Significant winter storm, kind of for the same areas, but it still plows the low pressure well inland. Looks really wonky. I still do not think this happens. I really don't. I'm not buying the GFS. It's literally the GFS against the European, the Icon, the Canadian model, and probably going to be the NAM. I'm going to warn you, the NAM, probably in the next few hours when the next NAM comes out, it's probably going to get the hype machine really going, especially if it continues the trends that it was showing at the end of the NAM, which isn't always accurate, but still need to watch it. Here's a closer up look at the GFS. This is for Sunday morning. Freezing rain, breaking out sleet in Raleigh, heavy freezing rain in Charlotte. This just has a different look altogether than the Euro. It really does. If this was to happen, areas like Atlanta would stay rain the entire system until maybe at the very end where you'll have some back-end snow showers that wraps in. It's a totally different look for Atlanta, for example, for that. Snowfall totals, this counts for sleet too, very heavy in North Carolina. But notice this little area right here, right at the top of the northern shield, this precipitation. Watch this area in Kentucky, areas of Tennessee, Quad States area, heavier snow showing up for these areas. And then look at Nova Scotia showing off over there with heavy snow, but that's probably from the storms Friday. A little bit closer look. All these totals that you're seeing are overdone. They really are. Cut them in half at least, but that's still a significant winter storm. Accounts for sleet also. Look at this little area of 21 inches showing up in Kentucky. Like I said, cut that at least in half. And remember, these are just one model runs. We keep rolling here. And the GEFS ensembles, which is important to show here. And I thought I pulled up the EPS ensembles, but I guess I did not. So let's see. I did not. That sucks. I guess I can pull it up real quick there for you guys. But the GEFS ensembles, check it out. That's still an impressive mean, even for South Carolina, areas of northern Georgia. This is accounting for ice, I think, also, though, too. But the mean, which is the ensemble mean, which is really something we really look at here. It combines a bunch of members together to create a mean. I think 31 with this. And, yeah, you have a mean of well over 8, 9, 10 inches in North Carolina and Virginia. Wild stuff there. You look at the ice totals courtesy of the GFS, and it's very significant, much further north, but not near as widespread. Just a weird look here. It really is. The GFS is just weird. This prints out an inch of ice in Charlotte. I'm just not buying that. I'm really not. Here's some more realistic totals right here. I think the ice is actually underdone here, but this is basically a blend of all models. A National Weather Service blend of all models. Very basically responsible model to use really here. But even this shows ice, even south of Columbia. This would show an icing event. And if you were to look at this, this looks closer to the Euro as far as how it's looking as far as development than the GFS. It really is. And you look at the same thing, but snowfall, much more respectable. In these areas that were showing, 17, 18, 9 inches of snow are showing not even half of that, but lower. But this is much more realistic. It really is, guys. And this is just snow. So, Greenville, Spartanburg, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Atlanta, maybe half an inch to 2 inches of snow. This is where all the ice would be potentially, and the swath of heavier snow going through Virginia, Pennsylvania, and then this little area right here. Watch this area too. Nice little snow showing up in Nashville. I got a lot of people who are viewers from the Chattanooga, Knoxville area. Guys, I hate to say it, but this looks like another screw zone for you guys too in this area right in here. Luckily, a lot of people in Alabama got hit really nicely from the event over a week ago. But I don't know if this is going to be your storm. I don't know. Maybe y'all get some backside snow flurries or something like that, or snow showers. But we'll see. It's still developing. I want to show you this. This is the last frame of the NAM that just came out a couple hours ago. We're getting in the short-range models. Thank God, because we can really start to figure this thing out. Long-range NAM 12KM is not super accurate. And normally it comes in really cold at first and then adjusts to other global models in time. But NAM is really good at pointing out the warm nose. So it stops right here. I'm going to freeze it right here because this is as far as it goes. 84 hours out, which takes us into about the wee hours of the morning, Sunday morning, like well before the sun comes up, like overnight, basically Saturday into Sunday. This is where the storm stops. You're thinking, well, if you keep this going, this is going to bring rain into the Georgia, into the Carolinas. So keep your eye right here where the rain stops. Now, I flip it to dew points, which we have not talked about much with this storm. You see how you got this area that digs into here, southwest? That is cold air damming. These are not temperatures, these are dew points. So you have really dry air sinking in. Now you're thinking, well, dry air, isn't that going to cause the moisture not really to fall? Well, no. With such a moist atmosphere, it's going to moist up the profiles, the atmosphere aloft, basically. And so with this, basically this moisture working into this, basically, it's almost like a mini Arctic air mass that this cold air damming is creating. It's going to basically cause what you call evaporative cooling, which basically is, say if the temperature is 40 degrees in Columbia and the dew point's 15. Moisture moves in, it causes the dew points to rise, it causes the temperature to drop. So the temperature could drop to maybe 30 degrees and the dew point might rise, or 32 degrees, or the dew point might rise to about 31. So wherever they meet, that's your wet bulb temperature, and that's where the temperature is probably going to stay at until other atmospheric influences kind of affect it otherwise, like maybe the low pressure getting really close. So this is the last time frame. The moisture's right here, and it's working into this cold air damming. To me, I think the next NAM is going to show a major winter storm for areas of Georgia and the Carolinas if it went a couple more frames, which it will, obviously, when the next runs come out. The latest Canadian model, we'll get this going here, follows the European. And I'll tell you, I know you're thinking Canadian, the Canadian has a cold bias. Well, the Canadian was very far north a couple runs ago. In fact, you bump it up, and it's actually trended south. It really has. So the Canadian showing an intense ice storm, big-time sleet storm for areas of South Carolina. You keep it going, and it really doesn't work out well at all for areas of the coastal areas in the Mid-Atlantic, like Washington, D.C. and New York City. It plows it well inland to the northeast. The Icon, I'll show you this really quick. The Icon moves the moisture in, and I know you're thinking, well, this looks just like a rainstorm with just a little bit of snow in North Carolina. What the Icon does not do is it doesn't show ice. So I'll stop it right here. This is for Sunday morning. You notice you're thinking, well, that's just a bunch of rain over Georgia and the Carolinas. Well, it's not. In fact, you look at the temperatures for the same time frame, and look at this. Freezing line all the way into Atlanta, all the way into Augusta, well past Columbia, Florence, Charlotte. It's deep into the 20s. So this precipitation that's in that, this is the same time frame. I'm going to put it in the same time frame. This precipitation showing up right here is falling in the form of frozen precipitation, not rain. So the Icon would depict a major ice storm, just like the European run. So let's look at the energy that the GFS is presenting. So we'll stop it right here. This is Sunday morning. I want to show you what we need this thing to do if you want winter weather. And I know a lot of people don't want an ice storm, but I'm telling you, it's inevitable that it's going to happen somewhere. The only thing that could save somebody is if you get a cold rain, or if it trends colder and you go to sleet and you're saved by a bunch of sleet or snow, which everybody wants snow, but this is not just a rain or snowstorm. This is a Miller B. It's a mixed bag, and it's just what's going to happen. This is the energy right here, right? We backed this up one run from the run earlier from the lunchtime model. Notice it's slower in the same time frame. We put it through the current run. It's faster. In this situation, you do not want an amped up storm if you want winter weather for the southeast. And I know I'm only talking about the southeast, but it goes the same for the mid-Atlantic and the northeast. You want this thing to slow down, not get as amped up. So the more amped up and stronger this low pressure is, the more it's going to come out here and then plow up here. You weaken this, it's influenced by atmospheric currents just altogether. So you weaken it and strengthen it maybe right out here, and the low pressure dives down here. Everybody gets more winter weather. Whether someone gets an ice storm areas, and that would make areas much further south and Georgia into the Carolinas get more of an ice storm. Maybe areas like Columbia points north, maybe you'll get more sleet, maybe some snow. So you want this to keep slowing down, not being as robust early on, and wait for it to strengthen when it gets out here. It's just too amped up on the latest GFS, but the northwest trend has stopped. So I don't know what all these are. These are panels I did not mean to have up. The latest chances for 3 inches of snow through this storm system, it's pretty much automatic from this area right here going through the Dakotas, Iowa, Missouri, a very strong signal in Missouri. This is for 3 inches of snow. Little area in the Ozarks, spikes for you guys. You switch it to the southeast, and a decent chance from almost the entire state of Tennessee. 30 to as much as 40 to 60%, depending on your location. But look at upstate South Carolina, northeast. You can basically see where the cold air damming is east of the mountains. So very solid chances for accumulating snow over 3 inches here in these areas. You go up into the mid-Atlantic, and very solid signal here. You go up to the northeast, if I can find the panel, New England. Very solid signal up here also. So for just find where you are, look at the number. That's the percentage chance of 3 inches of snow. So one thing that I really should have showed at the beginning of the video, this is the National Weather Service probability of precipitation exceeding a 1/4 inch of liquid snow sleet equivalent here. Still have for Sunday that's basically that 10 to 30% chance as far south as Columbia, almost all the way to Atlanta. But notice these areas right in here have really beefed up here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm starting to lose my voice from talking for 22 minutes straight. But you notice these areas have really beefed up here, and even areas right here in that quad state area that I was talking about. So that's 30 to 50% chance of a 1/4 inch of liquid wintry precipitation. That, I know you're thinking a 1/4 inch, that's not a lot, but it is, especially if you're getting all snow, if you're getting good snowfall rates. But Asheville and the mountains, southern Appalachian mountains, are really, really getting high. That's a 50 to 70% chance. You get into Monday, looks even more tense, looks even more widespread of a storm, and you move this up, and chances are really just increasing for a winter storm here. These areas in the light blue is a 70 to 90% chance. So we're going to have a major winter storm. It's happening, guys. It's going to happen. But where and how much is huge, huge questions. We've answered the question if we're going to have a winter storm. We are. Like I said, where and how much. And I can't answer that right now. I think I'll be able to answer that more as we get into maybe Friday evening. And I know that you're thinking, well, daggone, the storm starts in 24 hours, and you don't know by then. When are you going to know? But it's winter weather in the South and Mid-Atlantic, guys, and especially in the Southeast, it is very hard to predict. But that's all I got, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for the amazing support. Love you guys so much. And have a blessed night. Have you an update in the morning.